Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And the previous movie that I did, Old, was kind of like horror thriller that is disappointing. Let me talk to you about a movie which I absolutely love. I've seen this movie several times since the 90s. I came out in 1990, and I'm talking about Tremors, as you can see from the title. This is one of the, although it is kind of like monster horror, but it's also a comedy. And this is kind of movie which you don't want to watch just once. You want to watch it over and over and over and over again. And I have watched it. I think I've watched this movie at least 20 times by now, since 1990, and I will definitely watch it again. So I did watch it this afternoon, and I was enjoying it as much as I have in the previous 19 times, I guess. So I remember my cousin and I had actually watched this movie, and we wanted to watch it. I think with my sister as well, and yeah, we watched it many times over the years on VHS, on cable, now on streaming services, and DVD. So I do have the DVD, but I wasn't going to pull it out, but anyway, I push it back in. Anyway, so yeah, it's an American Western themed monster horror comedy. It's set in this remote area where hardly anybody lives, called Perfection, Nevada. It's in the desert. Surrounding them is the mountains. There's only one road leading out, and it's going to be very difficult if you want to get out of town if that road is blocked, which does happen in the movie. Movie stars Kevin Bacon as Valentine Val McKee, and Fred Ward as Earl Bassett. They are two handymen working in this town, doing a lot of different jobs for the town folk. You've also got Finn Carter, who I've never seen in anything else before. She plays a university PhD candidate. She's a seismologist, and she is in town to look out for, looking out for the readings as part of a project that they are doing at the university. I don't know which university, but it's in the Sierra Nevada mountains, so I'm guessing maybe somewhere in Las Vegas, or maybe Reno, Nevada. So after a stint of them getting sprayed with um, shit, liquid shit from a sewage tank, they try to leave for Bixby, but they discover the dead body of Edgar, who is climbed onto a tower, electric power tower, and he seemingly died of thirst over there, seemingly being frightened by something that was waiting for him downstairs. And those are the graboids. I think that's the official name that they're calling these creatures. A prehistoric creature. I want to see if that's the explanation they say in the movie. Yeah, so these big, huge creatures, something like, which never been seen before. They're prehistoric. They're blind. They're huge, but they go very fast underground with these stubs that they have. All of them working at the same time. And when they open their mouth, this disgusting little slime thing comes out, and with several snake-like tentacles that come out of its mouth, they grab onto you. That's what they call them, graboids, and start killing off the people who are working around the town, like some construction workers, road people who come and check on the construction workers uh, as well, and causes a landslide due which the town is cut off from everybody else. Movie also has Reba McEntire. Anybody else who no, Victor Wong, I've seen him in a couple of other things. I can't even remember where, but yeah, really good cast. They're very funny. There's a lot of chemistry between all of them. The leads, especially. Oh yeah, and Reba McEntire's her character's name Heather Gummer. Her husband Bert Gummer is played by Michael Gross, who took over the leads of the movie after Fred Ward and Kevin Bacon died. Kevin Bacon. They left the franchise. In fact, Kevin Bacon only appears in this movie. He doesn't appear in anything else. Apparently, at one time he had plans to come back, but I think it kind of fizzled out. Fred Ward appears in the in the sequel, which I've only watched these two movies. I can't remember. I think I've seen the third one as well, but I can't really remember too much about it. Um, I think I'm not really sure. But only the first two are really good, is what I understand. The rest are. I think I'll try to watch the others if I can. Speaking of, there's also a box set that I was interested in, but no matter what, I wanted the first movie. If I don't have the others, it doesn't really matter. Second one is pretty good, but not as good as the first one. So yeah, it's basically this town. Couple of people get killed from the town folk, but the rest of them have to battle it. It's very funny. It's hilarious. I don't need to go through everything, but the graboids can't burrow through rock, like the granite rock that is there, so they can try and make it to the mountains. The movie is funny as hell. Even the deaths don't really matter too much in the end, because the movie is hilarious, and it is like this buddy kind of movie with, like, the older, supposedly wiser uh, partner, and the younger guy who is, like, woman crazy, but at the same time. So there's a scene in which he wants the new student to be, like, tall, blonde with long legs and breast, like that would be, like, she'll be busty and all that stuff, and instead they get Finn Carter, um, which I kind of felt odd for them actually mentioning that in the movie, but in the end she does get Kevin Bacon. So yeah, the movie is fantastic. I mean, it has stood the test of time, at least according to me, and I think a lot of people, a lot of fans of this movie would agree. It is still fun to watch this movie. Now, if I 1990 to now, that's 31. How many years is that? 31 years, right? Yeah, 31 years. Oh boy. 31 years, how time has flown by, and it still is an amazing movie to watch. It gave me a lot of pleasure, a lot of fun this afternoon to sit and watch, or rather lie down and watch this movie. It is amazing. I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. You can't really ask for anything more from a creature feature kind of film. I don't think it's a big budget movie. It didn't actually make a big, but became a cult favorite later. It was $10 million at the box office, sorry, at budget. It only made 16.7 million at the box office. However, since then it has made, like, become really, really famous. Uh, yeah, it basically, VHS gave it a large cult following, and then onwards to DVD and Blu-ray. So this is a must-have in your collection. And if you don't like, those kind of movies, you must have this. This is a fun movie to have. Excuse me. And I will say this is probably my favorite. Let me drink some water. It's a really fun movie to watch. Off the top of my head, as far as creature movies with a little bit of comedy, Lake Placid is another one, but this is like way better than Lake Placid. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. Everything is funny. The music is also funny. It's got that silliness vibe around it. They didn't take themselves too seriously, but at the same time they made a movie for me, at least I feel like it is a movie for like 30 years, like I mentioned, it's going to be fun 40 years, like 10 years down the line, and even 50 years, that's 20 years down the line, or even 30 years down the line. It is going to be an amazing movie to watch. So do yourself a favor, stop watching this review, just go and grab yourself a copy of it, see if it's available on streaming. If not, get a copy of on DVD or Blu-ray. Watch the fucking movie. It is brilliant. Yeah. Soundtrack, I don't really think anything else here. Graboids are subterranean animals, gigantic worms or grubs with long cylindrical bodies. That's the explanation given here. So, we will try and watch the sequel, the second movie, a little later down the line, but for now, 9 out of 10 for Tremors, one of my favorite films. Please go watch it. Thank you. Good night.